Now, this entire month, we are leveling up your intuition. We are activating your high priestess. We are all tapping into deeper levels of trust in self, in source, in our soul, and really empowering each and every one of us to have a greater relationship with the part of you that is the most powerful, and that is the divineness that lives within you. Now, I know that was a lot of words, but I really want to emphasize how significant and how pivotal these lessons are, because it isn't just more content, it is practical, magical ways for you to really improve your life. Like I said, this month we've been tapping into your intuition. Lesson 1 was on understanding your relationship with your intuition. Lesson 2 was identifying what's blocking your intuition. Very powerful lesson that I know resonated with many of you. And then sort of the third one was the masterclass itself. Amazing. Now, all 3 of those, I encourage you to go and watch and access if you haven't already. Today's Monday Magic Lesson is about strengthening your intuitive connection. So everything's really been about illuminating, understanding, figuring out what's been going on, and then empowering you to really connect in. That's what we really did on the masterclass. And today it's like, well, how do we keep this going? So it's not just a big boom masterclass, it's a daily practice where you get to strengthen your connection, rely on yourself, and really, improve whatever area it is that you want to improve in your life. So let's dive into that. Now, I want to keep this simple, practical, and observable. So it's something you can see yourself getting better at. The outcome is that you're going to have a reliable connection to your intuition that you can continue to work on over time, but also you can start using straight away. This isn't about quick fixes or hacks or shortcuts or anything like that. I do want to emphasize that each of you are unique and you'll be going on your own journeys, but it is something just like anything worthwhile. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, it's going to take you really embracing what is necessary and needed. So if it feels a little bit difficult, if it feels maybe just a little bit unusual, like a muscle you've not used before, I want to emphasize that is totally natural, totally normal, and you can reach out and get support if you need it. All right. Specifically on that note, because I know each and every one of you already have a different relationship with your intuition, with your high priestess, with your higher self, like however you want to sort of connect to this, you might have blocks that come up and it's more of a mindset block. So it might be the thoughts you're thinking, the beliefs you hold, the stories you tell, the memories from the past. You may notice the blocks not to do with your mind, though. It might be more physical. You might get tense. You might find yourself getting a headache. You might manifest certain digestive issues or just aches and pains. So these are things to look out for. And if you don't have mental blocks or physical blocks, it could be energetic blocks. So this can come through in so many different ways as well. You might just sense something is off. You might be getting really sort of mixed signals and mixed signs. It could be a sense also that you are being drained or your energy is spiking and then dropping and spiking and dropping. Now, these are all things that might happen, or none of them might happen, or maybe you're more likely to have one rather than the other. So just take note of this, keep it in mind. This isn't a problem. It's just data about where we need to work and what we need to do to get you totally in flow and much better connected to your intuition. So I actually want to do a little bit of a call out here. If you already know that some of those resonated with you, like you're definitely a mindset block person, or maybe you've got a bit of a combo of, physical stuff and energetic things, or maybe you've got the trifecta, all 3, like let me know in the comments below, share your experiences, share what comes up for you. If you know ways that you work through it and you heal with it or you deal with it, let us know. You never know when that's going to help someone else. Or you might go, I have no clue, but I think, based on what's coming up in this moment, these are the things that are resonating with me. So just let me know what's going on there so I know exactly how I can help you. All right. Now, not only do I have a lot of personal experience with all three of those, I worked with a lot of clients on them as well. So really genuinely don't feel like you're going to be too different, or yours is going to be too weird. Well, I won't say I've seen it all, but I've definitely seen enough, and certainly my guides have, to help you move through this. So reach out. And if it is something a little bit more personal, you can always pop it into my DMs or send me an email. Now, without any more further preparation to this, we're going to go into 3 ways that you can strengthen your connection with your intuition, practical daily things that you can do. You might love all 3 of them, but I do encourage you to just start with one at a time. Not because you can't do all 3, not because all 3 won't work for you or anything like that, but this isn't about overloading. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it sacred. So I'm going to share all 3. Choose the one that feels the best for you in this moment, and I encourage you to practice at least for a week. And then, of course, you can return to this and choose another one if you feel called to. So, number 1, making space for your intuition. This might seem obvious, but so many of us don't do it. Now, in order to make space, we need to sort of cotton on to what we do instead of turning towards our intuition. Now, your default might be, as soon as you have an issue, a problem, a choice to make, you just automatically call a friend or call your coach or, call that one person who you get advice from. You might automatically go refer to a book or a podcast or a resource. So, look for an expert. You might jump into action ASAP. You're like, I just need to get going and then I'll figure it out. Perhaps you create a plan that is 100% logical. It's like A plus B equals C, and you stick to it. Now, none of those things are wrong. And of course, we can always turn to other people for support or different ways of working. But here we are developing your intuition. So we need to create space for it to come in and offer its suggestions. So identify what your default is, or your defaults. You might have more than one. And then throughout the week, when a decision comes up, and you can give it a little bit of time, space, breathing room, and you need to decide what to do with it, hold off on jumping to your default or trying to rush to a decision or getting it done. This might look like having a quiet meditation time, going for a walk. What I often actually like to do is, do some chores or housework, or, just something like puttering around. So letting my mind drift from the decision itself. Or you might set a future day or time, maybe in 2 days' time, or by the end of the day or something like that. And that's when you'll make the decision. By putting some distance and allowing some space to be created, I often find 9 times out of 10, what actually emerges or comes up or reveals itself to you is a much more intuitive response or answer, because we haven't gone straight to fix, solve, get done, which is a very narrowing kind of focus and energy. So we create the space for it. That is number 1. So creating the space for your intuition and allowing the answers to emerge. Now, if you're a little bit highly strung about making decisions, or it is genuinely something that needs a quick decision, I probably wouldn't use this straight away if it's going to bring you more stress, more worry, or a negative consequence. Do all of these things with decisions or choices or things you need to navigate that can be a little bit more spacious in the time, or you can not have to rush it. Number 2, pay your respects. So make it a daily practice to connect with and appreciate your intuition. This is all about getting comfortable and familiar with your intuition, and comfortable and familiar with reaching to your intuition and connecting with your intuition. Now, personally, I find it helpful to personify it. So, your high priestess, your higher self, your divine inner goddess being, or maybe that doesn't really resonate with you. That's cool. That's just a me thing, maybe. You can just call it your intuition. So we're developing this connection and this familiarity with your intuition, however you decide to connect and identify with it. Now, here are just a few suggestions on how you can make a practice of connecting with your intuition. You might intentionally go light a candle. And when you're lighting that candle, that is me honoring and paying my respects to my intuition. So you're forming that bond. You're making that connection on a daily basis. Maybe it's about having a conversation with your intuition or your higher self, your high priestess. That doesn't have to be, what do I do in this circumstance, and expecting an answer back. It might just be like, hey, intuition, how you going today? It's nice getting to know you. I don't think I quite speak your language yet, but we're getting there. Just have this practice of emotionally, mentally, physically-ish connecting with your intuition. Another one, and you need to have watched the masterclass for this to have made sense, but you can feel for your golden cord that's connecting you, your consciousness, to your high priestess, your intuition, and work on strengthening it. If that one sounds interesting to you, make sure you go watch the masterclass, Healing Your High Priestess. Now, our third one, number 3, follow the whispers. I absolutely love this one. It'd definitely be one that I practice the most when I'm, reestablishing my connection with my intuition. So when you start to take notice and be open to creating that space for your intuition, you're going to notice more of your intuitive whispers coming up and through. So these might be little nudges. They might be, seemingly random guidance or ideas that pop in, or simply a sense or a feeling to do something or head in a certain direction. So when you get these small little nudges, as often as possible, follow through with them without questioning it. 9 times out of 10, this isn't going to have any, negative long-lasting consequences, or, it's not going to be a super big deal. For example, and this is how mine often show up, like go stand in the sun, turn left rather than right on your walk, call that friend or call your mom or go to that certain cafe. So it's these little nudges, these little whispers, and as often as possible, follow them, listen to them, and allow yourself to not default to the mind, picking them apart or talking yourself out of it. You get a little nudge, you get a little urge, and you're able to safely, confidently go and follow it. Go and follow it. All right, so those are the 3 different ways you can practice connecting and strengthening your relationship with your intuition. So the first one, making space for your intuition. The second one, paying your respects to your intuition. And the third one, following the whispers. Now, my question to you is, which one are you choosing to go with this week? I really highly encourage you, get your diary and write in, each day that you're going to practice this, you're going to follow this, tick it off, make it a priority, put it on your diary, in your calendar, whatever you need to do to help you follow through. Now, of course, if throughout the week you have some amazing magical occurrences by, strengthening your connection with your intuition, please make sure to come back into the group, #SoulWin, share with us. And if you have some challenges, some obstacles, some, oh my gosh, I might need a little bit of support, come back here and ask for it as well. Before I jumped on today, I pulled this oracle card. Soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. And I truly believe that is the case. And that is such a beautiful message. Not only is your intuition here to support you and guide you, but our community, Soul Led and Satisfied, is here to do the same as well. Okay, this has been a little bit longer lesson than usual, but I know it was necessary. I know it is helpful, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you in the group.